Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. Hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're going to talk about Stephen Cool Boy Fulton being rewarded after missing weight against O'Shaquie Foster early today and exactly what that means moving forward. We're going to talk about Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz weigh-ins. We're going to definitely give you guys a reaction to that. Then, of course, we're going to get into our final predictions shortly after the fact. And, of course, we're going to open the platform up for some open boxing topics. But before we get into that, y'all could please hit the like button on the way in. That'll be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,200 mark. About to hit that 3,300 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments thus far. Smoochie, I did get your email. You know what I mean? I want to give a big shout out to Smoochie, man. She sent me an email earlier today and showed that Mazuma TV was her most watched channel on her out of everything that she could have watched. She could have watched, some of the top most viewed podcasts in the world. She could have listened to everybody, but she chose to listen to me the majority of the time, and it showed throughout her. It showed on her rankings. You feel what I'm saying? So big shout out to Smoochie. Really love the support and everything that she's contributed to the channel. That's dope as fuck. You see what I'm saying? Definitely was encouraging, because with this YouTube content creator stuff, you can lose motivation. You can question some things. Not necessarily doubt myself, because I'm not one of the. It takes a lot for me to ever get to that state of mind. But there's times where your interests start to dwindle and you start to get, more interested in other things. So I just wanted to give Smoochie a big shout out, because that was dope to see, to be honest with you, man. Like I said, a lot of people don't get that type of love too often. So the fact that, she was, that considerate of her time to be her number one top channel, man, it's super dope. So shout out to Smoochie. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and put this on subscriber only mode, because if you're not subscribed to the channel, why would we care for you to contribute to it? You know what I mean? This ain't a you know what I mean? Like, we ain't about to be doing all of that. You feel me? So go ahead, subscribe to the channel. We on a mission, y'all. You know what I mean? Let's get close to that 3,400 mark at least before the year is up. I was pushing for 4K, but it is what it is. You never know. But we going to make it do what it do regardless. Oh, shit. Jay Cash said I was number one on his YouTube wrap-up, too. Oh, man, salute. That's dope, man. I appreciate all the love and the time that y'all put into the channel. You know what I mean? It's super dope. But shout out to Smoochie for, sending that email over. That was very encouraging. Marlon, what up? Coffee Plant, what's going on, bro? How we feeling, man? We had some, upsetting news today. Ain't nothing like too crazy. You know what I mean? It ain't like somebody pop positive again or nothing like that. But, yeah, man, definitely an unfortunate situation that happened with Stephen Fulton, man. I guess, at least not yet, there won't be anybody from Philadelphia just yet who will become a 3-division world champion. So, it is what it is. We definitely going to talk about that. Shout out to the boy Jay Cash. Shout out to the boy Coffee Plant, like I said. Smoochie in the building. What's going on? Mick, what up? What up, brother? Mick Duna. Duna? Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. My apologies, brother. Slime, what up? We might bring you up on it. As a matter of fact, we're going to bring you up. We're going to bring you up today, man. I want to chop it up with you, brother. Justin Jackson, what up? Artman, what's going on? Artman don't show up too often, but when he do, it's always love. Salute. Shelton, what up? I'm number 3 on your recap. Dope. I love it. I love it. I love it. Shit, wherever I'm placed, man, whether it's number 1 or number 10, I'm highly appreciative of it. You know what I mean? Marlon said, how the fuck you get rewarded after missing weight? This ain't, and before I get into this ain't going to be me shitting on Stephen Fulton or nothing like that. You know what I mean? These things do happen, unfortunately. I do think it is kind of, I think he needs to be held accountable. for missing weight, because missing weight by 2 pounds it's egregious, to be honest, especially when that's your first fight at the weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you fought at 126 twice. You know, you said you had discomfort making the weight or whatever the case is. You made it late in 2024. You made the weight again early 2025. So, you know, we in the last month of 2025. So I don't know what has happened since February and December. But, you know, for Stephen Fulton to make 126 at the beginning of the year and then struggle to make 130, it's like, how much weight are you putting on in between camp, brother? Like, I know you've spoken about, shout out to Bella Faith, what up? Lorenzo and the Benzo, showing love from Japan, what up? R3, what up? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's pretty much inexcusable, man. It's really inexcusable. I don't know what was going on behind the scenes. You know, I'm sure Stephen Fulton has a valid reason as to why, because as long as I've watched Cuba, I don't know him personally, but as much as I've watched him, he's always been professional. This is somebody that's fought multiple times during Ramadan. And having Muslim friends, I know exactly what they have to sacrifice while simultaneously training. Shout out to my boy Derek Moore. He fought during Ramadan. You know, I seen this man train in my gym when it was 105, 108 degrees, and he can't drink any water. He has to wait until the sunset for him to break fast. Like, I seen Stephen Fulton do that multiple times and come out victorious every time he trained during Ramadan. You know, so he comes across as a very disciplined individual. You see what I'm saying? Not come across. He's shown to be disciplined. You know what I mean? You don't accomplish what Stephen Fulton accomplished lacking discipline. That's first of all. You see what I'm saying? So definitely caught me off guard. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to shit on Stephen Fulton. That's one of the best fighters that come out of my city right now. You know, I am a fan of him. But I do think that there was some miscalculations there. You know, it was definitely some things that was, you know, miscalculated. Yes, you know, Stephen Fulton is a Muslim. You know what I mean? You know, we could chalk it up. I see people in the comments saying that there may be a lack of motivation. I highly doubt there's a lack of motivation there, because that's a fight that Stephen Fulton requested. That wasn't a fight that was thrown at him. That was a fight that he wanted. That was a fight that he wanted. He wanted to face another champion. He wanted to create history. He wanted to be the first 3-division champion to come out of Philadelphia. That was his goals. Now, what he got going on outside of that, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. Maybe he has some outside distractions. I don't know him personally. I can't speak to that. And even if I did know him personally, even if I knew there were some things going on, I wouldn't disclose that to y'all publicly, because that's some sucker shit. You feel me? But, you know, to make the weight 2 times and then have an additional 4 pounds to make the weight. It's like you made 26 early this year. They giving you an additional 4 pounds to work with, and you missed the weight by 2 pounds. They give you an additional 4, and you take 6 instead. It's like, come on, man. Like, you were in a very, very prestigious situation to do some record-breaking things. Like, you can't, you know. And I'm sure Stephen Fulton may get another opportunity. He is a top, fighter in boxing. You feel what I'm saying? I'm sure he'll end up stumbling across another opportunity. But the fact that you had that in front of you in this moment, and the reality is, life, you don't know what God got written for you. You don't know if this is going to be, you don't know if another situation is going to arise. You don't know if this may very well be your last moment. You never know where life is going to take you. You see what I mean? So I don't know what's going on with Stephen Fulton. I think that, and there are fighters that, get to certain points in their career where they just, get sick of making weight. You see what I'm saying? Like, I remember Mikey Garcia. Remember when he skipped from 35 basically to 47 to face Errol Spence? Mikey Garcia had an opportunity, and I think he fought Sandor Martin at 140, but, by that time he was already done. But he continued to stick around at 147. And I remember they asked Mikey why. He was like, man, like, I just feel comfortable here. And I think as, you get older, cutting weight doesn't only tax you from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint. Losing weight could be traumatizing for a fighter, considering all that they have to sacrifice. And I think, once they get an understanding of who they are as individuals, what they're capable of doing from a skill set standpoint, they start to grow to be okay with, having these size disadvantages. Because let's keep it 1,000. Stephen Fulton is not, he didn't look much smaller than O'Shaquie Foster, but now you're talking about creeping into 135 pounds. That's a weight where you would be extremely undersized in. Let's just keep it real. Like, look at the guys at 135 right now. You tell me if he, is bigger than these guys or the same size as these guys. Stephen Fulton could, I think 130 is like his cap weight, to be honest with you. So if you miss weight before even getting into the division, it's like, in my honest opinion, the way I assessed it, I think he had a bad weight cut. I don't think he cut weight properly. What I think is, I think the on and off camps, he may have miscalculated. Because look, when guys go up in weight, they put on a little bit more weight. So when they come back, they do a little bit more strength training. They add on a little bit more muscle so that when they cut down, they'll be stronger at the new weight that they'll be in. Because when you're moving up in weight, you're trying to acclimate to the division. So that's why you seen Boots, when he was making his transition to 154, he looked big as shit when I saw him. Looked every bit of 180 plus, to be honest with you. He was in the midst of, strength training, getting his muscles up, filling into the new weight. So when he cut down to 54, it didn't look like he was undersized or, had excess fat or anything like that. Like there's a whole science behind it. And maybe that's what Stephen Fulton was doing. I don't know. There might have been a miscalculation on the way. I'm not too sure. Maybe Stephen Fulton got sick during camp. I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? Because I've seen that happen too, where guys, because when these guys cut a lot of weight, they lose a lot of, vitamins and minerals from, the excess sweat that they have. Their immune systems get weak. Boom. They end up catching something during the middle of camp. And in Philly, everybody's been getting sick. So that may be a possibility as well. We could draw many conclusions from this situation. I don't know what happened. What I know is I know Stephen Fulton to be a very disciplined individual. You feel what I mean? But this right here was a bit disappointing, to be honest. And I'm sure he's disappointed as well. But like I said, this ain't going to be a shitting on Stephen Fulton campaign. I'm not tolerating that. We're not doing that over here. You know what I'm saying? Because when Ryan Garcia missed weight against Devin Haney, those motherfuckers who was parading him. Y'all was laughing. Oh, well, Devin Haney took the fight anyway. He took the fight anyway, as if Devin Haney accepting the fight somehow makes it okay for Ryan Garcia to miss weight. You feel what I'm saying? So, these things happen. Shakur Stevenson missed weight. Keyshawn Davis missed weight. Gervonta Davis missed weight before. Like motherfuckers miss weight, man. Even Floyd missed weight, from what I understand, against Juan Manuel Marquez. So, these things happen. You feel what I mean? Might have just been a miscalculation on his part. I hope Stephen Fulton is okay. We were saying yesterday that he looked a bit drained at the press conference. So it just might have been just a bad weight cut. That's how I look at it. You see what I mean? J-Day, that's not how that works, brother. That's not how that works. He said, I know Shockey happy because either way he gets to keep that belt. Not necessarily. If he loses to Fulton, that title becomes vacant. That's how that works. It's just Stephen Fulton can't win it. But let's say they fight. If Foster wins, he has successfully defended his title. But if he loses, the title becomes vacant. Foster's belt is not on the line for Stephen Fulton, but if he loses, from what I understand, we actually going to read this article, man. You said send the link. All right, bet. Let me go ahead and send the link. This for Slime, though. You heard? So let me actually bring this up as well, because I think Ring Magazine even spoke on it. Come on, where's it at? Okay, Ring Magazine says Stephen Fulton has come in 2 pounds overweight at 132 for his fight against O'Shaquie Foster tomorrow night. Foster's WBC super featherweight title will now become vacant if Fulton wins. So, like I said, it's only on the line for O'Shaquie. If O'Shaquie wins, he keeps his belt. If he loses, the title becomes vacant. That's how it usually works in boxing. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what's the word?
What's the word, man? I mean, we just talking about this Stephen Fulton situation, bro. But I'm actually about to read this article right here. So let me go ahead and get into that. Shout out to Ring Magazine for putting this information out there for the people, just to keep them informed. You know what I mean? And the title says Fulton comes in overweight to fight Foster for WBC interim 135-pound title. So I'm assuming that because this is for the 135 WBC title, the interim 135 WBC title, the winner of this fight will end up becoming Shakur Stevenson's mandatory. Very, very interesting.
Okay.
Keith Idex says Stephen Fulton's move up in weight didn't proceed as planned. Fulton came in 2 pounds over the limit Friday for his 12-round fight for O'Shaquie Foster's WBC 130-pound title Saturday night at the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio. The sanctioning body initially announced they would move forward with their bout, but Fulton wasn't eligible with the belt. However, the WBC came back around and said that Foster and Fulton will fight for the vacant interim lightweight title. Do you see how this shit is, bro? Like, I just wanted to stop right here. Do you see how the WBC enables bullshit, bro? Like, look at the shit that they do, Slime. Like, you test positive for a PED, oh, they're gonna do a thorough step-by-step process and end up finding you not guilty.
Right. And then raising the levels.
And that exactly. I was just about to get to that. You beat me to the punch. Then they raise levels to make sure they raise the levels of clenbuterol, because so many Mexican fighters were tested positive for clenbuterol. Then, motherfuckers are losing fights, and they're coming back in their next fight to fight for the WBC title.
Yep.
Ryan Garcia just got his ass whipped for the WBA back in May, I believe.
And now, like
February, he about to rumble for the WBC title against Mario Barrios.
And like you said, now, not to shit on Stephen Fulton, but he missed weight, and now he's fighting for an interim belt.
Right. So and that's how we wrapping this up. So you're gonna go miss weight when you should be embarrassed. You know, I'm sure he got to pay fines and all that good shit. You already know that's how we're coming with the game. But don't even worry about missing weight, because the WBC gonna make sure they get some bread about you. Oh, you miss weight, and if you lose, and if you win, you're not gonna give us no money. How about this? We're gonna give you, since you came in at 132, that you're technically a lightweight now. So let's go ahead and throw this WBC interim title at you. So if you win, in case you win, you give us our little check that we looking for.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? This is the WBC showing this corruption at its finest. They enable drug cheats. They give losers title shots, and now if you missing weight, they giving you interim belts for the next division. Crazy. I'm not gonna blame the PBC. I'm not gonna blame Stephen Fulton. I can't blame O'Shaquie Foster. He made weight. This is a simple attack. I'm not gonna say attack, but this is me talking about how corrupt the WBC is.
Yep.
It's simple. This, like I said, this ain't gonna be a campaign shitting on Stephen Fulton and none of that. Motherfuckers miss weight. It is what it is. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. I remember when Gary Russell said that his scale wasn't calibrated, so he thought he was on weight the whole time, and he wasn't. Motherfuckers get sick and gotta replenish themselves. If not, they'd probably be dehydrated and have to pull out of a fight. So would you rather pull out of the fight and fuck up this money, or would you come in overweight and just pay a fine and go into the fight? There's a lot of things that could happen. And like I said, I seen people celebrating Ryan Garcia missing weight against Devin Haney. He on FaceTime with Floyd throwing up 3 fingers for being 3 pounds overweight or whatever the case is. So
and then he tried to say that Floyd told him to do that.
Yeah, and then he said Floyd told him to do that. So that, you know, and motherfuckers was like, oh, well, Devin Haney didn't have to take the fight. You see what I mean? So, like, these things happen. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm so outraged that Stephen Fulton missed weight. Unfortunately, a lot of the top fighters in boxing right now have missed weight before. Mm-hmm. Shit happens. You feel what I'm saying? Let's continue on with this article, man. The WBC should be ashamed, but they clearly don't give a fuck. The winner will become the mandatory challenger for Shakur Stevenson. Look at that. Just like I said, the WBC is a 135-pound champion. Stevenson is set to go up against Teofimo Lopez July 31st. The WBC originally announced January 10th fight between – oh, shit, check this out. So they said, fuck Javier Herrera. You look at this shit. Remember Javier Herrera, the nigga that they were saying, oh, he could beat Shakur? And
Yep.
The WBC originally announced on January 10th that the fight between Ricardo Nunez and Javier Herrera will be contested for the interim lightweight title. So check this shit out.
Wow.
They told Javier Herrera and Ricardo Nunez, y'all gonna fight for the WBC interim title. Then, as soon as this nigga Stephen Fulton missed weight, they was like, we could make more money off of Stephen Fulton because he's a bigger name than Javier Rivera and Ricardo Nunez. So how about we just tell Javier Herrera and Ricardo Nunez to go fuck themselves and have them fight for nothing? Bro, this is the bro. Tell me I'm lying.
Bro, that is so fucked, bro.
That's what they call them motherfuckers, Indian givers.
Yep.
You give and then you take. That's exactly what they said. You can't tell motherfuckers, yo, you're going to fight for this belt. And then they see another. Like, once you give your word, you got to follow through with that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
was there a contract signed that they were going to fight for the belt?
I'm not sure, man.
Between Javier Herrera and this other dude?
I'm not sure. I just know what I just read off of this fucking article. They told Javier Rivera and Ricardo Nunez that they was going to rumble for the WBC lightweight interim title. Okay, my boy Jamil in the building. Yo.
Yo, what's good?
How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. I'm a little bummed about the fight. That's what I was calling you about. I'm a little bummed about the fight not happening. I thought that was a good job. Yeah, I called you. I think he was on live though.
Oh shit, I see it. 10:47. No, I actually wasn't on live just yet. But okay, I didn't even get that alert. I was putting my son to sleep. But okay. Yeah, let me continue reading with this article though, because they said that yo, the WBC some grimy motherfuckers, bro. They originally announced that Ricardo Nunez and Javier Rivera would be contested for the interim lightweight title. It appears for the time being that Foster and Fulton will keep their 130 and 126 titles respectively. So even if Oshaki loses, he keeps his title. So that changed then too, because they were just saying that if Oshaki loses, the title will become vacant. But since they moved this over to a lightweight contest, they both keep their titles. WBC keeping more money.
You know, all of this is it's very simple. This is just about bread. Because if you think about it, remember Lara versus Janabek fell out, right? And so now Cool Boy and Oshaki gets moved up to co-main event. And you, of all people, know that now that they're co-main event, now their pay scale changes because I was getting paid being that I was the third bout co-main event. Now you got to bump my shit up. And the WBC wouldn't get any bread if wouldn't get no bread from Cool Boy because he wouldn't be fighting for the WBC. So they had to do something in order to get that check.
Right, and if Oshaki lose, then he ain't got to pay shit.
Yeah, so it's like, it's them losing a couple hundred bands or like 100 bands in a weekend. They're not going for that. So they're going to come up with a situation.
They trying to recoup off Terrence Crawford. God damn.
Yeah, which shows you just how greedy the WBC is when it comes to money.
It's crazy. I don't mind motherfuckers getting their money. I think that's something that people got misconstrued. It's just the levels that they're willing to go in order to get that money. That's like what's shameful to me. Like, y'all motherfuckers bending all types of rules just to get a couple extra dollars. Like,
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. If you ever read their rules, they leave a level of vagueness in there so they can do what they want to do.
Right.
It's fucking hilarious. All of this, like, bro, this.
I might take the time one day to actually read their rules. This is on their website, right?
Yo, bro, read the WBA,
spend a whole lot.
WBC, WBO. When you see like the vagueness when it comes to mandatories and rankings, it's like, bro.
Right, but it's also funny, and Anonymous just touched on this in the message in the chat. He says, "I think it's pretty clear Fulton ain't going back to 26
for sure."
Yeah,
he was always moving to 35 after this fight.
Yeah, because I heard him say that on Andre Ward's interview, and I should have paid more attention to it. But he was like, "Man, after I get this belt, I'm going up to 35." But I thought he would. But I should have known that Fulton wasn't bullshitting because he not the type to even be playing like that. So I should have noticed when I should have paid. I noticed, but I should have paid more attention.
Mark, peep the play, right? Don't Shacky want Shakur?
Yeah,
Cool Boy wants to go to 35.
Right.
Now you literally made this. Well, of course, we're not getting the title bout, and that would have been great. But now you literally made this for something. The winner is going to get Shakur if he decides to stay at 35.
Yep.
Or the winner is going to be the new 135-pound champion if Shakur stays at 40.
Yeah, but
that's true.
We don't know what Shakur is going to do after the Teofimo fight. But he did say that he was going to win and then vacate and go back down. But
yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, I'm saying it's either or. The winner's going to fight Shakur.
Regardless of the situation, yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Let's continue. Let me see if they say anything else. No, they don't really say nothing else outside of that. Yeah, so then they ended with the 31-year-old Fulton acknowledged during the build-up to his fight that Foster that he had difficulty squeezing down to the featherweight limit of 126. Fulton is a former WBC and WBO 122-pound champion. Shout out to Keith Idek for that article. Yeah, man, crazy situation. Like I said, WBC, I gotta read them rules, bro. Definitely gotta read them rules. I'm gonna take the time to do that one day. But I see why they will leave their rules pretty vague, so that way, they could bend the rules according to whoever the fuck it is, and nobody could say that they're going against their rules. So I get it. Do you think the WBC would try to strip Shakur? Absolutely not. Why would they? I'm sure they're okay with him going back to 40. Going to 40 to face Teofimo.
And if he plans on coming back down, of course.
Yeah, I think he will. Bella Face said WBC and Suleiman pushed a lie that the percentage was decreased. There's a cap. What do you mean, Bella? What you talking about? Said Shakur is good. Yeah, he definitely is. Bully's in the building. He said, "What's up? If Foster wins, he gets Shakur. He's been saying Shakur don't want to fight him. Yeah, they've been having issues for a while. Shaggy's been expressing how he wants to face Shakur for, he's been saying he's been wanting to rumble Shakur for a minute. So if he beats Fulton, then that puts him in the perfect position to do so. So because I remember he was talking about fighting Shakur, and Shakur was talking about, man, you need to go ahead and fight Raymond Ford. But now Raymond Ford talking about these niggas pussy at 30. I'm about to move up the lightweight. So it's a lot going on, a whole lot going on.
I think Shakur would beat the shit out of Shock anyway, easily.
That's a good fight. I like that fight. But I would definitely picture Shakur if they was there.
Shakur would easily get that.
Let me see. So what's your thoughts, Jamel? How you feeling about this whole situation? I ain't really see you talk about it much.
Mark, I have to be really, really politically correct in this particular situation. These fighters got to do better.
Right.
Just say that.
Oh
right?
yeah, Jamil, before you came on here, I made it clear that this ain't gonna be like anybody shitting on Stephen Fulton and none of that. So you know what I mean? We're not doing that.
I think it's a problem. When I say these fighters, I'm looking at it in its totality. Am I disappointed in school? Yeah. I mean, but that's you got to deal with the consequences of that. You
Right.
know, I fuck with him, and I want him to succeed, but he fucked up, and you got to deal with what comes with it. But I feel like this is definitely a problem in boxing, and you know better than anybody that a lot of times boxing fans think that it's the women that get these dudes, it's the drinking, it might be drugs. It's the fork, bro. 99% of the time, it's the fork.
Yeah.
All these kids have issues with the fork.
Yeah.
Look at Kermel, for example. Didn't he have a fight coming up and he was super over the weight limit?
Yeah. He blamed it on like something with the doctors or some shit like that. I really don't know. But yeah, the fork is definitely an issue, but that just goes in line with discipline. You know what I mean? I think that these dudes, they get a little carried away, like when they don't have a fight coming up, but then when you only fight them once or twice a year, or you got big ass layoffs in between fights, you know, I could see what I mean. I'm not trying to justify anybody, you know, not maintaining a certain weight, you know, a certain weight limit. You know, I was always told to try to stay between 10 to 15 pounds of your, you know, around your fight weight. You know what I mean? Try to not get outside of that. Andre Ward, he's, you know, he had like I call it the boxing commandments, where one of the rules is don't blow up between fights. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's easier said than done, but we're in a climate right now in boxing where, you know what I mean? Like for Stephen Fulton, for example, last time he fought was in February of 2025.
Fights getting pushed back.
Right. He's had a lot of fights get pushed back, and then he's put in a situation where, like, damn, I don't know when I'm gonna fight. You know, I was even hearing rumors that he was gonna come back in January, right, Mo?
Yeah.
One of those things like early 2026. Then all of a sudden, you know, Stephen Fulton was able to get themselves added to this Lamont Roach and Eastside Cruz card. But you know, I could see how it could be difficult when, you know, you got these long, you know, gaps in between fights. You could get carried away, but yeah, the fork is definitely a problem.
But wait, these long gaps with money though.
With money, yeah.
Let's add that part. You got money. You got businesses, you popping, right?
Right.
You from the slums. And I'm not making an excuse. I'm just telling people how this shit happens. You seen Cord miss weight. You seen Tank miss weight. You seen Keyshawn miss weight. You seen Scoop miss weight. These are all different kinds of people. Canelo. These are all different people. Benavidez.
Yep.
But when you like look at it,
Canelo
like
missed
twice
weight?
a year. Huh?
Canelo missed weight?
Oh my God. Canelo fought for a world title when he was over the limit.
155, right?
Nah, man. This is Matthew Hatton. he came in overweight and he still fought for the belt.
That's a throwback. Okay, you can proceed. My fault.
I'm just saying it's a problem in boxing. It's something I see. Like you said, 10 to 15 pounds. Now you know damn well these kids.
They doubling that.
And because they can get away with it, they got these high metabolisms, they work out a lot, they can melt down. And it's catching up to them. It's catching up to them.
Right. You can make a case that I mean, Errol Spence spoke on that. You know what I'm saying? He was saying how, you know, he had to like run in sauna suits and all types of stuff just to get weights off, like in between. And he was having big fights like with Sean Porter, you know what I mean? Danny Garcia, all that stuff. He said that like one of the things, you know, besides like his, you know, drinking habits, one of the things that, you know, he wanted to, you know, keep in check was his weight. You know what I mean? This is a learning situation for anybody that's coming up in boxing right now, man. You know, if you're the type of person to watch other people, you know, if you can learn off of other people's mistakes and you looking to be like a, you know, a top tier boxer, whatever the case is, just want to be a disciplined fighter overall. If you want to have an advantage over a lot of these guys, keep your weight on point. Keep your weight on point. Learn something from the Bernard Hopkins of the world. You know what I mean? Bernard, if you put Bernard on the scale right now, he probably still 175. Listen
No
to Floyd.
bullshit.
Yeah, B Hop still work out to this day. To this day, still putting in that work. And he's been retired for a good amount of time now. Listen to, watch the Floyds. You know what I mean? Learn from the Andre Wards. That level of discipline, bro, is very rare amongst this generation, man.
Yo, if you said that he was having trouble, if you said that he could have been having trouble making weight, hopefully that doesn't mean that he has a bad performance against Shock, man. I'll be sick.
Yeah, that could go. I don't know. We won't know until he performs, but that could be a possibility. You know what I mean? He may be all right. You know what I mean? He may be all right. He may perform how he's supposed to. He may very well get the victory. I'm still rooting for him, obviously, but who knows how Stephen Fulton is going to feel when 8, 9, 10 comes around. You know what I mean? There's people that could get away with that type of stuff, especially when they're younger. Fulton, he's still in his prime years. He's 31 years old. But then, there's times where you may have a little bad weight cut and them legs not, operating how they supposed to when you get in them championship rounds. You know what I'm saying? So that's a dice roll, honestly. We don't know. We're just going to have to see. I highly doubt Jamil will ever speak on this publicly, but I'm going to just pose the question anyway. He said the YSMC that's coming out with Scooter looking big or Camp. Now, I can speak to that. The last time I saw him, he did look kind of big, but I can't speak on whether I've seen it coming or not. I doubt Mill would ever.
No comment.
Yeah, exactly. See, I knew that. But one thing I can say is that the one time I saw him, he did look kind of heavy. You feel what I'm saying? But that's a lot of these fighters nowadays. They ain't no angle to shit on Stephen Fulton. A lot of these motherfuckers don't walk around at they fight weight. A lot of these dudes be, and I don't know how far over he was at the time, but a lot of these dudes nowadays, they 25, 30 pounds above their fight weight nowadays. So it is what it is.
I can say it because he posted this shit. He was in the 60s.
Yeah.
He posted it, so it's not something that's a secret. He chose to divulge it, but he was in the 60s.
Yeah, man. That's
people what Anonymous said.
What happened?
People Anonymous said he said if I'm Foster, I'm punching to the body from the first round.
See, and that's another thing, because all you doing is if I'm O'Shaquie Foster, if I'm looking at it from his viewpoint, I'm like, he a dead man. Now that could be very well that could very well be wrong. You see what I'm saying? Fulton may come out and have a spectacular performance. There's people that miss weight and still do well. So like I said, it's a dice roll. But there are fighters who, even though they 2 pounds over, they had to do a whole lot just to be 2 pounds over. You know what I'm saying? And they leave a lot of fight in the gym as a result of that. And so it's like, I can see why Anonymous would say that, because you know what I mean? There may be some weaknesses there in the night of the fight. You know what I'm saying? But being in the 60s, especially with the size of Fulton, like being in the 60s is crazy, bro.
I'm gonna give my prediction right now. I'm gonna be real bold with it, and I'm gonna just say it's a draw.
Yo, Anonymous, if he thinking he gonna try to go in the school wheelhouse and go to his body, I'm gonna tell you now, it's gonna be a mistake.
So
whatever your game plan is, whatever your game plan was, you should stick to your game plan.
Yeah, I don't think he should have an inside fight with Fulton at all. Because going to that body, you getting in that range, you're gonna make that's gonna end up being a close range type of fight.
Scooter could box too, though.
No, he could definitely box.
Yeah, but if you all right, so looking at it objectively, if you're saying that this person that this person is having trouble cutting, right? And you in your mind, you might think he's a little soggy around the middle. You want him to move. You want him to move and expend a lot of energy. You don't want to just, in a trench fight, it's a trench fight.
Yeah.
You're not moving. Everything's right there for you. Scoot's a way better inside fighter than Shaq is.
He is.
Not for sure.
I said that.
So nah, I wouldn't do that. Because now you're like basically you're just making you're bringing a mill to Scooter, and he ain't got to work hard to get it.
Right. I mean, if you play some shots down there though, that could take a lot out the tank as well. But that, like I said, that does come with a risk.
Where's that venue at? Where are they fighting?
San Antonio.
The Spurs.
Oh, okay.
The Spurs arena.
Okay.
Mick said, "Looked bad against Castro. Went to Japan 4 days before weigh-in. Now this something up." Okay.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to say.
Yeah, I don't get what he's trying to say. Look bad against Castro. Every fight isn't going to be easy. Castro was like what, 35-1?
Right.
Like sometimes I feel like boxing fans are a tad bit critical. Yo, he's a world level dude. He's a world level. Like, yo, you're going to get into a fight.
He about to fight Bruce Carrington for the interim. From what I heard Carlos Castro about to fight Bruce Carrington.
Exactly, and that's a tough fight. Like everybody, I think the Mayweather era has everybody where you got to look flawless. Like if it's not a flawless win, it's not a good win, or now it's going to be you're exposed, or you can't do this, you can't do that. It's a fight, yo. It's a fight. Carlos Castro was very game that night, and Scoot had to dig deep to beat him. Mm-hmm. Notice he didn't mention Brandon Figueroa.
No, I seen he mentioned Brandon Figueroa earlier. He said Brandon Figueroa shot.
But you see how that is though?
Yeah. I ignored it the first time, but I peeped what he said though.
He said Brandon Figueroa shot, but he was a world champion.
Like, come on,
bro.
Like, come on, man. That's you being overly critical, bro. Because Brandon wasn't shot when he knocked the other dude out. He wasn't shot then. Was he shot when he beat Carlos Castro? Like, come on, man.
Like, come on, bro.
You already know how it be though, Mill. They're gonna find an angle regardless. If they feel a certain way, they're gonna use an angle to go against that.
Yo, and also Castro was after getting stopped by Castro was way bigger than Scoot. He's a good fighter. He was really, really game that night. So had to dig deep.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm done, yo. Was it peak Brandon? Bro, how long is somebody's peak?
Not
a
really.
year, 2 years? How long is somebody's peak, bro? Oh, my bad. When they take a loss, they're not at their peak anymore, right?
Yo, then this motherfucker didn't Figueroa pack up Jesse Magdaleno right before that?
He did.
And he's only ever lost to Stephen Fulton.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he's well past this.
I really think about that shit. Like, who the fuck this nigga Brandon? Like, he ain't losing nobody except Stephen Fulton.
No. No. He's done. You know what I mean? He's done. Because he's struggling with a guy that he's always struggled with. He's done. He's just washed. Like, come on, man. Like, and this is why boxers act the way they do. They don't care about the fans because y'all just quick to write motherfuckers off, yo.
Mm-hmm.
If Tank ever loses, oh my god, they either one or two things. They're gonna either cry and justify it or write him off.
don't see nothing, man. I think Tank can't do no wrong. I think if he was to lose, motherfuckers would really like find a way to justify that shit.
They were on PDs.
You'll have dudes that justify it, and you'll have dudes that said he was never good.
Yeah.
There isn't any balance anymore. It's either one or the other.
Yeah. Yep. That's a true.
But it's never that guy was just a better man that night.
He said, "Why can't I have an opinion? You can have your opinion, but we don't have to agree with it."
Just because your opinion ain't valid don't mean you can't have it.
R3 said, do you guys know the last time the WBC put a WBC interim belt on the line after somebody missed weight? I don't know if they ever did, but this is the first time I've ever heard of that. Like, this is the first time I ever heard of somebody missing weight, and then right after that being granted like a interim title shot.
Yeah, that was insane when
I never heard of a motherfucker being rewarded after missing weight. And like I said, this ain't got nothing to do with Stephen Fulton. This is the WBC. You feel what I'm saying? So like I personally never heard of that. Can anybody in the chat or anybody up here can anybody recall a time where that's happened?
Nah, but salute to Philly. We the A side.
I ain't shit. Listen, look, if I'm Fulton, I'm taking that opportunity. It's just making me look at the WBC.
Nah, it's a crooked. It's a super crooked system, man. It just so happened to work in our favor this time.
I need somebody to hit up Javier Herrera right now and ask how he feeling right now. That's some grimy shit. You gonna go ahead and tell him, yeah, you gonna face Ricardo Nunez for the WBC interim belt. Okay. So he probably training like, yeah, finally getting that interim title. He probably punching the shit out that bag. Like, yeah, let's go. Finally get that. Then he go and look on his timeline. He's like, oh, Fulton missed weight. Damn, that's crazy. All right. There's some news come out later. Oh, they fighting for the interim title at lightweight. I was fighting for the interim title at lightweight. The fuck?
Yo, you already, all they probably did is number one, slice some bread, or number two said you will face the winner. The winner of y'all's will face the winner of that, and which will be a bigger payday because, of course, it's a bigger name. You already know. It's like, okay, how the fuck Conor Ben is the number one ranked contender in the weight class he ain't never fought? He ain't fought that in 3 years. Please tell me.
We was talking about that. We spoke about that. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, why is like Mick? Like, what's up with Mick, bro? What's up with Mick, bro? PBC legit asked for it.
What?
So because the PBC asked for it, the WBC just supposed to just give it to him? What are you talking about? Who's doing the action, Mick? Is it the WBC or is it PBC? Could the PBC force the WBC to do something they don't want to do? What are you talking about? They said Herrera gonna fight for the WBC franchise belt. That's crazy. That's crazy. Where is that WBC interim title now? Where is that at lightweight? Who has it? That shit disappear after Haney became undisputed, or what?
I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that franchise belt in a long time.
The franchise thing, I haven't heard from that in a long, long time.
I think since Haney became undisputed, that franchise belt disappeared. Let me see.
Nah, realistically, I haven't heard from that belt since Benavidez moved up to 75. That's how hard Canelo was ducking.
Let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and give you guys the video to the win. I want to know what y'all think about this. Doesn't the champion have to request it? I mean, that's what Mauricio said Lomachenko did, that he requested a franchise title so Devin Haney wouldn't be as mandatory, or so he wouldn't have to fight Devin Haney in a mandatory. Yeah. That's what I heard. I don't know. I just know that's I just don't hear about it no more. That's all.
And now we invite his opponent to the stage at this time from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's the two-division world champion. Welcome, the WBC featherweight champion.
Bro, how tall is Cameron, bro? Is he tall like that? Oh, I'm out of touch, man.
How tall is Shock?
Shock got to be like, I don't know. Cam looked like he at least like 6'2", 6'1". How tall is
Pitbull boy, Stephen Fulton. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is weight limit of 135 pounds for the vacant interim WBC lightweight world title. We invite our fighters to the scale at this time. First, with a record of 23 wins and 3 losses. 12 wins by way of knockout. He is the current WBC super featherweight world champion, All-Shakti Icewater Meister.
Shaggy clearly hydrated now, but he looks like he's in phenomenal shape. He looks like he's in good shape.
Shaggy Foster weighs in at already 130 pounds. 130 pounds.
Yo, his forehead is insane.
With a record of 23 wins, 1 defeat with 8 knockouts. He's the current WBC featherweight world champion. Cool boy, Stephen Fulton. 132 pounds, 132 for Stephen Fulton. We have a fight once again, 12 rounds for the interim WBC lightweight world title.
All right, so that music playing and shit, but that's the face-off right there. Cool boy, look, what the fuck? Like he looked bigger than Shock. He looks bigger than Shock, bro. That's crazy.
You mean bigger size-wise or height-wise?
You said what, Slime?
You mean bigger size-wise or height-wise?
Everything.
I mean, they look pretty even from a height standpoint.
Nah.
You look,
Scooter's
you look a
taller.
little, Scooter's taller than him. Unless Scooter got them, like, you know, the big shoes that
He
y'all
might
wear.
have sneakers on. I don't think he.
Oh, true. But
That's what I'm saying. They look a bit similar, but it does look from this video. It looks like Fulton is a little taller than Shock. So if that's the case, Shock definitely ain't 5'8", like Ralph said. But I guess I'll tell you right now, Fulton definitely look heavier. Definitely look heavier. Look, I'm gonna say this. I was excited for this fight, and I still am. But goddamn, I feel like some of this fight lost its luster, man.
definitely did. Of course it did.
Because either way, because regardless of who wins, people are gonna criticize the victory. Whoever wins is not gonna get full credit for the fight. That's what bothers me, because I mean, I'm gonna give Foster his credit if he comes out victorious, but people are gonna be like, oh well, You know what I mean? Like Fulton, people gonna make up some type of excuse like, oh, Fulton wasn't, he wasn't focused, but whatever the case is, I already know they're gonna take that. They're gonna take that stance with him.
They're gonna be like, oh, he was probably weight drained.
Bella says if Shock wins, he's getting even more credit. I can see that standpoint, but not everybody's gonna view it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm more in line with you, Bella. I would give him more credit if he were to defeat Stephen Fulton. But the problem is people are gonna create this angle like, oh, well, you didn't face the best version of Stephen Fulton. Fulton missed weight and he wasn't focused, blah, blah, blah. And if Stephen Fulton wins, of course you already know what they're gonna say. You feel what I mean? Like, oh, they're gonna pull out all types of weight bully, especially if he dominates Foster. Like if he fries him, they're like, oh, he's a weight bully. He didn't make weight. Blah blah blah. You already know how that shit gonna go.
Imagine he just clip him on some Pacquiao versus Hatton.
Hell no, stop.
Imagine. I'm talking about Steven Scooter doing that to Foster.
That would be insane. But no, I'm expecting it for it to be a great fight overall. But damn, man, I was really looking forward to seeing Fulton get that third division, man. Shit. So, yeah, I actually want to get into the other weigh-ins. I want to see exactly where the other weigh-ins are. Because I seen Lamont Roach and Isak got heated.
Question, right?
What's up?
Where would you put Scoot versus Shakur? Where does that fight go?
Like in terms of location?
Yeah.
That's an East Coast fight.
Yeah, I know, but where? You put it in New York to be
Newark.
neutral?
No, we're not putting that in Newark.
Yeah, why would you put it in Newark, bro?
I mean, why not? It could also. It depends on.
Me personally, I'm thinking New York.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would you say, like, all right, so Shakur has done Newark with Shishiro Yoshino, Artem Artulian.
He cut off. I think
My bad. I said Shakur has done Newark with Artem Artulian, Robson Kasickiao, and Shishiro Yoshino. Why would you put Scoot in Newark? Scoot would be Scoot would be a top 3 most recognizable name that Shakur has been in the ring with.
For sure. I think he'd be the biggest name in Shakur's resume.
No, I think that's going to T.O.
Well,
yeah, he's fighting Tio. Yeah, he's fighting Tio. I forgot.
So you got Tio, you got Oscar Valdez. You know what I mean? But I say New York is the only, because Shakur's not going to give Scoot a hometown fight.
No, that's not.
No. I think New York is the only place that would both be considered neutral ground. Neither one of us from there, Jersey ball, Philly ball.
And they both close to either location that
both could get to,
Because like Newark is like what, half hour from New York?
That shit like 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's close. And Philly's like an hour. I mean, depending on where you at in Philly, I mean, probably if you're taking your time, 2 hours. You feel what I'm saying? But I usually get to New York in like an hour 30, hour 40. Jay said, I don't know. I'll put it in AC.
Yeah, that can work.
That's not the worst option. Yeah, that's
Atlantic City. That's not bad.
That's not the worst option.
Put it like this: you gotta put it in a place. The reason why I say New York is Philly niggas won't bring their guns, and Newark niggas won't bring their guns. You gotta think about these kind of situations, yo.
Yeah, you do. You do. Yep, you definitely do. Yeah, that's ideal for sure. So New York, I would put New York at the top of the list. You know what I mean? If you want to throw AC in there, that could work too. But most likely that would go to New York.
Imagine they just say fuck all that and put it in Vegas.
That'll piss me off.
That shit would even make fucking sense for us.
Oh, you mean like with Lamont and Tank and they do it in New York? That was the dumbest shit ever, yo. You got a Baltimore dude fighting a DC dude, and yeah, let's throw it in New York. Fuck.
That should have been a Maryland fight.
DC.
Yeah.
But too much shit was happening in Tank last DC fight. Bro, dudes was getting robbed left and right. Shit was wild.
Yo, I heard some shit about that. They said they don't be knowing how to act at them Tank fights. That's why they be having Tank moving all over the place. I think even Tank said he was against fighting in Baltimore or like Maryland or anything like that. So yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, if you put Roach people and Tank people in the same spot, they probably trip the fuck out, bro.
Not before, but I think after their little interaction. Because they grew up together, right? I saw Tank about to snap out, and then he saw Lamont's mom, and he said, "Let me chill with mom's over there." So there is a level of respect there.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Jamel, you got muted.
My bad. I don't know if Baltimore dudes like would feel comfortable coming down in like DC. Like that'd be something, yo. Just in itself. That'd be something. It's one thing Tank fighting in DC and Maryland is supporting Maryland, but it's another thing for you to have like a op city. Like if Tank fought like Gary Antoine, that shit'd be crazy.
Yo, that would be insane. But Roach and Antoine fighting will go crazy down there. Because that's Roach keep talking about that.
Yo, Roach keep talking about Antoine. Everybody want to see you fight Gary, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas want to see you fight Mr. Gary Russell. I don't think he can beat Antoine, respectfully.
Yeah, I don't think so neither. I think he would have a better chance with Mr. Gary.
But I'm down for those fights. Mark, you fuck with DC?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't have much experience being down there, but
Mark, you lose your mind.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so I think I might have to stay away from there. Try, man. I ain't trying to get in no trouble, boss.
I dig
it. Yeah, but yeah, I heard about that over there. Definitely heard about that over there. Let me see. Let me see. All right, I didn't really get to watch like the weigh-ins all like that. I've been ripping and running all day. So
I have no idea.
Go ahead.
I have no idea who Frank Martin's opponent is. Who is that?
Francis Bartholomew.
Yeah,
you don't know who that is?
Nah, who'd he fight? I probably gotta like.
I've seen him fight in person.
He done fought everybody.
Yeah, he's been around.
He fought Robert Easter. He's fought Gary Antoine.
He fought Jose Ramirez too. He fought Gary Antoine. He got stopped. Yeah, that's. I seen him.
Terrible stoppage.
Yeah, one of the worst fights I ever seen was Robert Easter versus Francis Bartholomew, bro.
Yeah, that was awful.
That was fucking terrible, bro. I remember watching that and just being upset. He even fought Mickey Bay. Mickey Bay,
yeah.
Mickey Bay, looking like he gonna be a phenomenal trainer.
Do he got any like good wins on his under his belt?
I mean, he beat Mickey Bay.
Yo, can we talk about that before you go to the weigh-in, Joe? Because I don't think we talked about that.
What's that?
They said we was haters, Mark. They said we was haters. We was hating on Atlanta.
What you talking about, bro? What you talking about? Tell me. What you
I'm talking about the Devin Haney, Brian Norman shit. They said we was haters, yo.
Yo, man, listen, bro. I done seen this script. I don't read this script before, bro. Like I seen with my own eyes people big up a fighter, when the whole time you know that shit ain't really gonna go how they think it's gonna go. And then as soon as the person they want to lose, they want to see lose prevail. Oh, that motherfucker wasn't shit. No, that motherfucker. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, like, I'm blocking people. Like, I'm shit. Because people won't never say shit on the live because they know my wrench gang sharp, you know what I'm saying? But then after the live, that's when they be leaving them little comments like, man, y'all Philly niggas, man, y'all the biggest haters, man. Man, y'all just want to see Brian Norman lose cause y'all rock with Boots. Bro, this shit ain't got nothing to do with Boots at all.
But everything to do with Devin Haney.
They disappeared though. Now they Clip, what up? Now they quiet as a church mouse. No, I was a hater for like 3, 4 months, 6 months. I was a hater.
I know they was getting at you, bro.
Oh my gosh. Y'all hating on Atlanta? When did Philly ever hate on Atlanta? Man, most of our people moved down there, yo. When we ever hated on Atlanta? Come on, man.
Yeah.
But I just want to say this last part. So, y'all saw how the Devin Haney fight. Imagine what we saw in sparring. That's all I'm gonna say. Imagine what we saw. Okay?
I wasn't there, but I know people that was there, and they told me what it was years ago. I heard about that shit years ago. When was it that they sparred? Like they sparred at 1-on-1, right?
Yeah. The only times I ever seen them spar was at 1-on-1. I've never seen them spar.
Right. That was like what, 2021? 2022?
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah, I heard about that. That shit got back to me. I'm like, oh, like all right.
It kind of looked like that fight with just much more punches and explosiveness. You know what I mean?
Right.
It looked like that fight with violence, if that makes sense. Just like
that fight, that same outclassing, but with some ass whooping in the mix.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even if I didn't hear about it, even if that didn't get back to me, I knew I know what would have happened. I didn't really need to hear about it or see it. As soon as I heard they was both in the ring, I'm like, oh, all right. Like that shit would just be, from a stylistic standpoint, that shit all bad for Norman. But I was trying to tell people, bro, you know what I mean? And of course we're gonna go back to this clip. But I saw the Quentin Randall fight, and I'm like, okay, he beat Quentin Randall, but he had some difficulties, right? And I noticed, like they say, what everybody say, Top Rank got the best matchmakers in the world, blah, blah, blah. But they purposely, just based off of, the opponents that he faced after that, it looked like they were blatant, like they were purposely avoiding that style. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, y'all been facing guys that just been standing in front of Brian Norman, and he's been looking spectacular, right? How do we know that he went back into the lab and improved his craft so, he won't have another Quentin Randall performance again? The reality is they never went back into the lab and, got that right. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, if you having a little issue with, Quentin Randall, I know Devin Haney gonna give you trouble because they're on two totally different levels. And then on top of that, I'm watching Brian Norman Sr. because he was going live every day. Shit. And he was talking about my son's before. He said something very telling that caught my attention. He was like, that version of my son that fought Quentin Randall won't be enough to beat Devin Haney. And I was like, okay, so you're admitting that approach that he took ain't going to be enough to beat Devin Haney. And y'all have been avoiding that style since going up against Quentin Randall. That lets me know that y'all not ready. Y'all not ready for that step because you haven't taken the steps in fights to really show us that you've improved or you're ready for that type of style.
Devin Haney.
I said Devin Haney's going to outclass him. He's going to outpoint him.
What's
you know what I mean? Bella, you know, she gave Devin Haney his credit. She ain't go out of her way to disrespect Haney and nothing like that. But she was rocking with Norman, and a lot of people was rooting for Norman, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But I knew just watching them stylistically and just knowing what I know in boxing, I knew that Norman was going to be overwhelmed.
Hey, Bella, you from Atlanta?
Yeah, she's from Atlanta.
Yeah, tell her. She like, can y'all move back to Philly? Nah, it's y'all fault that we down there. And what I'm saying is, you Atlanta women, it's y'all fault that we down there.
Yo, I didn't even see that comment. Damn, Bella, that's crazy. You don't want to see Philly niggas in your city? That's wild. Did the sparring look like David Benavidez versus David Lemieux? That's fucking hilarious.
Nah, it looked like Jerron Ennis versus Amanda Stanionis.
Oh man,
that was an ass whooping and a half. But yo, that's an underrated ass whooping right there, though. Benavidez versus Lemieux. I don't know why they did that. I was like, yo, as soon as I heard they made that fight, I said, yo, why are they doing that to Lemieux, man? Like, why are they doing that to Lemieux? Oh my God. I remember when Lemieux was coming up on HBO. You remember that shit, Mo?
Yeah.
That motherfucker was punching, boy.
Yo.
Punching.
There was a lot of dudes that I felt like Gab beat. There was a lot of dudes I felt like Gab gave problems to. It's two dudes that beat Gabby ass. Charlo and Lemieux.
And Gulo too, though.
I don't remember that fight. But I remember him he gave Peter Quillen trouble.
I thought he beat Quillen.
Yeah, I thought he was beating Quillen. He
beat Jalen Love.
Yeah, he gave Jalen Love the business. And it was somebody else. But
Luis Arias lost to Gabe Rosado. I thought Gabe Rosado beat Danny Jacobs. Like, it was a few. Yo, Gabe got robbed a lot, bro.
He did.
He got robbed a lot. But that
Charlo and Lemieux put paws on Gabe.
Yeah, bro. And Gulo probably did even worse out of all of them, though. Like El Perro, bro, that's when he was like young and on his shit. He did Gabe dirty. But
Triple G beat the fuck.
I think the blood just made it look crazy. I don't like he got cooked, obviously, but
he was getting hit with some hot shit, bro.
I think the blood was like how the way he was bleeding so profusely, bro. I think that's what made it look even crazier.
Bro, he was getting hit with the whole 9, bro.
Look, Gabe a fucking gangster. That's all I know. That's all I know. If I don't know anything, Gabe a fucking gangster. I was watching him rumble motherfucking Selecki at the Leah course.
I thought he stopped Selecki.
Bro, he was getting cooked by Selecki the whole fight, turned that shit around. I'm like, yo.
Yo, Selecki turned his back. That was a stoppage.
He did. He definitely did. He was punching on Gabe was punching on him. He hurt him. He turned his whole back, took the knee and shit. They let that shit rock. Bro. That should have been a stoppage. You right. Gabe probably Gabe a fucking gangster, bro. He deserved whatever he get moving forward, like opportunities and shit like that, bro.
Philly.
He really rolled that dice, though. Yeah, definitely Philly. Really from Philly, too. You feel what I'm saying? Because, you know, they be fighters that be from Jersey and shit and be repping Philly, you know what I mean? Should be crazy.
Right.
They be talking about from South Philly. I'm like, who? Man, fuck out of here, bro. But let me see. Yeah, you felt like Haney had more tools. I mean, yeah, he did, clearly. The experience as well. People don't take experience into consideration either. That's a real thing, bro.
Hey, Mark, alert people in the chat. Atlanta ain't nothing but a 2-hour flight. Leave me be. Feel me? 2-hour flight.
Bill talking crazy, bro. You all right?
I'm just saying it's a 2-hour flight, yo.
I didn't even know that. Damn, I need to go to ATL. Yeah, tell her you gotta tell her chill.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour flight. Like, you don't want the problems.
Yo, there ain't no Ricans at ATL though, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, there's Puerto Ricans everywhere, bro.
I mean, obviously, but I'm saying
I ain't gonna say not everywhere, but I feel like this is gonna sound funny, but the Ricans that grew up in black areas, they're down there. Not the Hicks, but the Ricans that grew up in black areas,
yeah, like me, yeah,
like you feel really, really comfortable.
Oh yeah. Man, let me chill the fuck out for this girl. Start tripping. Let me chill out. That's the reason why I stay in the crib.
Right.
Dead ass. But yo, we ain't even addressed this video. Lamont looked like he in crazy shape, bro.
Yo, I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about that. I looked at Lamont Roach.
There's people. There be people that move up 2 weight classes and be looking pudgy and shit. This motherfucker look like he belonged there.
Yo, I looked at Lamont Roach like a second ago, and I was like, Tank ain't fighting that nigga no more. Tank is not fight. Yo, he gonna fuck around and stop Tank, bro. Bad.
No, I can't do that, bro. That nigga was the rematch Tank and stopping, bro. This whole internet gonna crash.
Bro,
we gonna lose contact for like.
Yo, the block list on Mazuma TV channel going spike crazy. Cause niggas, the trolls is gonna be in here talking spicy.
No, nigga, if Tank get knocked out, nigga, we gonna be the trolls. Fuck is you talking about? We gonna be the ones being blocked.
Nah, but the trolls is gonna be mad as fuck, bro.
Man, they gonna go quiet. That's what them trolls do. When they not in the winning position, they disappear. Shit, let me go ahead and see this. Let's see this weigh-in.
Let's bring our fighters to the scale. The weight limit was 140 pounds. First, the challenger with a record of 25 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws. He has 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He will be seeking his 2nd division world champ title. Please welcome the WBA super featherweight.
That motherfucker Lamont Roach Pop look like a straight Dominican, bro.
He gotta be some type of Spanish, bro. Lamont got green eyes.
He look like his last name De Los Santos or some shit. What the fuck going on?
Lamont got green eyes too and all that. He definitely some type of Dominican.
$139.6 pounds, 139.6.
¿Qué lo que?
And his opponent is the champion with a record of 28 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. He has 18 knockouts. He's the popular all-action 2-division world champion.
Yo, why that nigga look like Shia LaBeouf behind Pitbull? Yo, I can't stand Eastside Cruz, bro. Like, am I tripping? Am I the only one who don't like this nigga, bro?
No, you're not.
I do not like him, bro.
Like him as a fighter or just like him?
It's something about him just.
Eastside Cruz don't do nothing but span the circle and X button in Fight Night.
Facts. Facts.
No
It's just
square,
like, bro, how,
no square,
I
no
look at
triangle.
Esoc and I'm like, nigga, how you get this far? Like how? Nigga, you ass, nigga.
You got fried by Rayo. You got fried by Angel
Yo, that nigga
Fierro.
had Ryo looking like Purnell, bro. Like,
Yo, it actually fooled people into thinking that Ryo was gonna beat Gary Antoine. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, yo, he's
It
gonna
had
get
me
his
fooled,
ass
bro, because I
whooped.
had Rayo. I had
knew
Rayo.
what time that was.
Oh my god, yo.
I knew what time that was. As
I
soon
knew
as I
that
said
shit was
it,
bad.
Antoine win a world title, bro. I was like, man, I said Antoine about to win his first world title. I knew he was gonna fuck Ryo up bad. It's gonna take a certain. It's gonna take a certain. Like Antoine's so fucking talented, bro. It's gonna take a certain type of motherfucker to beat him, like top tier. I don't think no regular or average fight. Like you not beating Antoine if you just like an okay fighter. You just a good fighter. You not beating Antoine. To me,
The most underrated part, the part that shocked me, I had no fucking idea. I saw him work out one time. It's the hand speed. Everybody talks about the pressure.
He all fast as shit.
He is fast as shit, and I knew that level of hand speed with pressure, bro, he was gonna fuck Ryo up.
Yo, I'm surprised Ryo ain't get stopped though. Ryo did his thing.
Can I tell y'all something? If Lamont stops Pitbull, bro, yeah, Tank will never in his life fight that man. Ever.
Yo.
Ever.
He gonna keep that Twitter deactivated too.
Bro, he'll fuck around and get a Pitbull rematch. He'll be like, oh yeah, let me get that rematch in with Pitbull.
No, but I'm gonna tell you this though. I heard them Russells, they be training with like gloves with weights in them.
What?
Like Teeth told me that shit. Them motherfuckers be wearing like 20-ounce gloves and they be having like weights inside the gloves and shit. Like all they do, like they spar with like 20-ounce gloves, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that constant, training with that, like consistently with that type of resistance, that hand speed, like that's bound to happen, bro. They train that shit. Like Mr. Gary Russell, especially when he was younger, bro, that motherfucker was super fast, bro. Everybody was talking about Amir Khan. I'm like, yeah, like Amir Khan got fast hands, but like what made Gary Russell's hand speed impressive to me was the variety that he had. Like he threw every punch fast. I felt like with Amir Khan, it was really just 1-2-1. It was like really straight shots.
You seen Mr. Gary Russell's last fight he just had? He would beat the dog shit out that nigga, bro. He
carried that nigga, bro. That nigga, Mr. Gary Russell, he carried that nigga, bro. Like really carried him. He did whatever he wanted with Bull. Like whenever he felt like turning up, he turned up. Whenever he wanted to hurt him, he hurt him. And then he was like, all right, bro, let me just get him up out of here. Like he just showed to be levels above. And that was at 135, I think.
Yeah, watch Tank fight him.
Shit, Tank ain't fighting no fucking Mr. Gary Russell, bro. He never wanted to fight Mr. Gary Russell. Even when he was at 26, he ain't want nothing to do with him.
You think Tank will lose to him right now?
Oh, listen to what I'm telling you. When he was at 126, that nigga was calling, and I'm not even joking. Like you could find this online right now. He said that nigga Tank a bitch. He ain't gonna fight me. He a bitch, bro. I swear to God, he would disrespect the shit out of
bro.
Tank.
I believe, bro. He punched Bud in the face. I believe him.
I found it really interesting that Tank never said a word. You know how like Tank will just go on social media and disrespect the nigga? Like Bud, Shakur, he don't even bring that nigga name up. That shit like he Candyman or some shit. Swear to God, bro, this motherfucker won't even look at. He won't even press the @ button towards that nigga over the phone.
Like that episode of South Park when they kept saying Biggie Smalls in the mirror.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, he wouldn't even go that far to even mention him on social media. And I always thought that was interesting. Cause like Baltimore ain't the DMV, but you know what I mean? They nearby. And anybody that knew the Russells, it was like if you really wanted to get into some real action. Like if you really wanted to test your skills, you go and you was around that area, you went to go see them niggas. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know if he ever went over there. I don't know if they got any history sparring or whatever the case is, but bro, for some reason, that nigga stays quiet when it comes to them wrestles, bro.
To this day. Oh my God. Tank versus Gary Antoine Russell. 140.
Tank could get his ass whooped. Tank could get his ass whooped. He would
Tank
never.
Tank lose like half of the round, half of them fights. Half of the rounds, I mean. Damn.
Lorenzo said people consider Mr. Gary had the fastest hands in boxing back in the 2010s. Facts, he did. He really did. Everybody was talking about Amir Khan, but Amir Khan's hands was fast when he was throwing them straight. It didn't matter what punches Gary Russell threw. They was all sharp, powerful, fast as fuck, bro.
And he had drip.
Huh?
And he had drip.
Fuck that mean?
Like his fight kits would always be lit.
Who are you talking about?
Gary Russell. Mr. Gary Russell.
You sound like these motherfuckers that be, man, nobody go fight outfits.
Man.
Gary Russell kept that shit simple though. What you talking about? He used to have like black shorts, black.
Nah, then he'll get flashy with the like. He'll do like some crazy ass like caveman type gladiator short Jones. Like he'll be do some crazy shit.
Yeah, bro, this nigga Slime be tripping. That output would frustrate Tank too. Yeah, Tank gonna look for a way out. Tank gonna look for a way out.
Tank gonna quit in the corner.
Yo, that nigga gonna ask for an intermission. That nigga Tank gonna ask for an intermission in the 4th round. Yo, let's take a break. Somebody perform. Somebody don't got some rappers in the building. Well, go perform.
Yo, Fat Joe.
No, that's Berlanga. He got little.
Oh, my fault. He like to come out with Jim Jones. Yo, Jim Jones.
Sing ballin' 3 times. That nigga gonna have Jim Jones rapping ballin' 3 times in a row just so he could catch up with his brother. That motherfucker Gary Russell gonna throw so many punches at Tank, bro.
And after Ballin stop playing after the 3rd time, he gonna get stopped.
I think I got the energy for sure.
For sure.
For sure. Motherfucker gonna hit Tank upside his head. He gonna like, oh shit, the hair grease again.
No, yo, shut the fuck
That nigga gonna have
up.
cuts just like
the hair grease again.
Oh ass nigga. But anyways.
Hold on, play this joint real quick. I want to see when they got into each other's faces. That shit was crazy.
Let's go, Pitbull!
Niggas bopping his head.
I'd have mushed the shit out of Isak, nigga.
Yeah, but you see how he tried to push Lamont back and Lamont went nowhere?
Yeah, bro. I was just Look at him.
Watch right here. He pushed himself back. Yo.
Roach not even like bothered neither. Like this nigga Isak tried to bitch him up. Like he trying to like stun on him. He trying to flex on him, and Roach not going for it, bro.
Lamont Roach knows something.
was this nigga Isak on his tippy toes or some shit? Why the nigga got shorter?
Yeah, because he was trying to push him. That's why.
What you trying to prove, cuz? Like, what you trying to prove?
This is every Pitbull fight. He didn't try that shit with Fierro though.
What did Isak say? Sound like he said, "You fucking bitch." Hold on. Yo, did Isak call him a fucking bitch? Or am I can't read lips. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Am I tripping?
Nah, you wildin'.
What did he say then? That don't sound like he said that? That don't look like he said that?
Nah.
What did he say then?
He probably said like tacos or something. I don't know. Nah, all jokes aside, he probably said like yeah, alright.
They saying that shit?
Or yeah, okay, or something.
That's look like you saying that. To me, that's nervous energy, bro. There's clearly a nigga confident here, and there's a nigga trying to, like, there's a nigga that's trying to get some confidence. That's what it looks like.
He's trying to intimidate Lamont, but it's not
trying
working.
to intimidate Lamont, and Lamont don't give a fuck.
Like, nigga, Lamont got Randy Orton tattoos. He don't give a fuck.
He really do. That nigga Lamont is like this.
Yes, he might as well just and slap the shit out of him on accident. Slap the shit out of Cruz on accident. Oh shit, my fault.
Y'all look, we got a troll in the building. Let's go ahead and pack him.
Where he's at?
Yeah, like we really got weirdos in here. Yo, you know, like this channel really be this channel really got trolls when they named themselves after niggas who got wrenches in the chat.
What was the name?
Obsessed. The nigga's name was literally Mazuma Anonymous Plant. Like, like, imagine being so obsessed with Mazuma TV that you obsessed with the niggas who got wrenches. Like, that's like you're not even worried about me. You worried about me, and you worried about niggas.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Anonymous and Coffee get the worst end of it too. Pause. Like they're the most hated for no reason, and I'm the one who be talking shit.
Oh no, but they really hate Coffee. Like Anonymous be. I think that's the first time I've seen somebody try to troll Anonymous, but they hate Coffee, bro.
They hate him. I don't know why. He don't be doing shit.
And Coffee don't even be in the chat like how he used to. Like he always come through in the beginning and he be dipping off and shit. But bro, niggas be frying Coffee, bro. I don't know why. But like I was saying about this video right here, there's a motherfucker who trying to prove he trying to like impose himself, and then the other dude, like it's a different, like you can see it, and I'm not a body language expert, so let's not get into that. But there's clearly somebody who has like a quiet confidence about themselves, and it looked like this motherfucker over here overcompensating.
Yeah, he's trying to do the most.
Knows that he liked that, and there's one that's trying to prove to the other one that he really liked that.
Lamont in 10.
If he clip Isak, I think it's gonna be early, bro. I think if he clip Isak, it's gonna be early. I don't think he's gonna clip Isak though.
Lamont carried that power all fight, bro.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
and then Isak be running into shots. Like he be running in all night. So he's there to be hit.
But I think Roach gonna be there to be hit too, bro. I think he gonna be there to get hit too. Because Lamont like the rumble, bro. That's the problem. Like, I think Lamont's gonna land the clean. Like, what I personally think is gonna happen is I think that I think Lamont's timing is gonna be there. I think his counter punching ability is why he's gonna win this fight. I think Isak is gonna be loading up on big shots like he always does. And I think he's going to be punching in between Isak shots and landing the harder, cleaner shots and steal rounds as a result of that. I think that's what's going to win him the fight.
And I'm not saying it's going to be like a clean KO, like he's going to ice him. I think it's going to be TKO.
For my gamblers out here, betting on the draw is plus 1,500. Just saying that if you got a couple dollars, a draw is not a bad pick for this fight. I think Lamont's going to win. But a draw is very possible. Because if the majority of this fight is like motherfuckers if they just in the middle just rumbling, there could be some close rounds in between. There could be some close rounds. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you. That draw is not a bad pick. He said, look at Cruz's head. You can tell he got a chin. Yeah. That's Mexicans for you. A lot of them be having big ass heads.
Once again, we're going to hear from both of our fighters.
Hold on. Birdman said, it looks like Pitbull said, vamos a ver. Spanish for we'll see. That's possible. That's definitely possible.
Hold on, I'm going to leave and I'm going to come back in a second.
All right, bro. Jasir Ali says, in my view, the fight likely goes to Lamont Roach Jr. by unanimous decision, provided he maintains discipline and avoids falling into wild exchange. Yeah, but he avoids falling into wild exchanges, but he definitely gets into exchanges. I feel like as a counterpuncher, you almost got to be okay with being in exchanges because counterpunches, what make them great counterpunches is catching guys in between shots or beating them to the punch. You see what I'm saying? So I think there's going to be a lot of exchanges between these two. And I just think that Lamont, him being a sharper fighter, you know what I mean? And what's also going to help Lamont is that his shots are shorter than Isak Cruz. Isak throw big-ass bombs, like big bombs, like wide shots, you know, at times. And because Lamont's shots are shorter, especially if they fight in close quarters, I think his short shots are going to is going to hit their target quicker than Isak Cruz's wide shots. I think that's going to play a part as well. I think Lamont Roach uppercut going to be real successful in this fight. That's what I think. I think that's going to be one of his punches that stands out. Like I said, I got him winning. I'm really rooting for Lamont. I need him to win this fight. But for my bettors out there, man, look into that draw, man. Look into that draw. And I think somebody getting knocked down this fight too. So that's something to look at as well.
Feel it now, man. Feel it now.
I told you a couple days ago when I interviewed you, I'm calling you Mr. Roach for now, man. That was a pretty intense face-off. Since this started, have y'all grown general dislike for each other?
No, not at all. It's our job right here. They it all on the line. I know I'm coming with everything I got, so he's better come with everything he got.
He's very aggressive, very intense fighter. Do you have to change anything that you do for this particular fight?
We're going to let him worry about what we got going on over here. Maybe he'll adjust, but like I said before, I got 10 ways to win. He got right.
If he got one way to win, then how he gonna adjust, Lamont? Come on.
The last question. You told me the other day you're tired of leaving things in the judge's hands. Is this gonna be a knockout for you this Saturday?
What Rocky said, if he dies, he dies.
There you go. Lamont Roach, 7-6 tomorrow, baby. Do you have it?
Now we're going to hear from Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Isaac, that was an intense and a lengthy stare down.
I wonder if the WBC is going to investigate Lamont Roach for saying that, you know, he's willing to kill somebody in the ring. I remember they tried to do that with Deontay Wilder. So I wonder if the WBC is going to launch an investigation after those comments.
What went through your mind during that stare down? What was said?
Muy intenso. Contanos qué te pasó por la cabeza mientras se decían todo eso que dices.
Nada más vengo a ser muy claro y le vengo a decir que le vengo a hacer lo que dice a Diego Magdaleno y eso es todo.
Well, I couldn't be more clear with him. What I came to do was the same that I did 5 years ago against Diego Magdaleno, and he knows what that is.
What does this response from this incredible crowd here in San Antonio mean to you?
Algo muy bonito y por eso, por esta linda gente de San Antonio, voy a darles una gran pelea de mañana.
These Mexican motherfuckers love Eastside Cruz, bro. Like, he got Mexico behind him. That's why PBC keep that motherfucker on the card, because they know that the Mexicans is behind them. You heard? All the motherfucker did was give Tank a good fight. That's all he did. Then once he knocked out Rolly and got that world title, man, them fucking Mexicans was loving Pitbull because he exemplifies, you know, like a Mexican fighter. Heart, you know what I mean? Punching power, pressure, grit. You know what I mean? Durability. Like he really has all of those qualities, and they love this little nigga, bro. You hear how they cheering for him in the crowd?
And that's why I want to provide a great show for all of you tomorrow night.
Darles lo mejor de mí a toda esta linda gente que son la ganadora de toda la gente que vino a apoyarme esta noche.
The best of me to all of you, and you're going to be the true winners of the night. It's going to be a great show. Don't miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Isaac Pitbull Cruz on PBC pay-per-view on Prime Video. Look now, Jimmy, take us home.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, everybody.
Interesting. Nobody want to see that Drake Bell looking ass nigga. Anyways, and I'll never find that it be so simple, but I found a way. If you open up your mind, it's gonna take some time to realize. Drake Bell looking ass nigga. Yeah, that song definitely a fucking banger. If you know, you know. Shout out to my Nickelodeon fam in the building. So that was just my take of the weigh-ins. I didn't get to watch the other ones, but yeah, I mean, those are two fights that a lot of people are talking about, so I emphasize those. Final predictions, man. I was, I've been rooting for, Stephen Fulton. I'm still rooting for him, but I am a bit concerned due to him coming in the fight overweight. You know what I mean? It looked like he had a tough weight cut to seeing him at the press conferences. We spoke on that previously, but he missed weight. You know what I mean? Didn't really look dehydrated at the weigh-ins, but we don't know how much fight he left in the gym as a result of, being 160 plus pounds, before this fight, and then, having to come down to 132 pounds. You feel what I mean? So you're talking about 28 30 plus pounds that was cut during this camp. Did he really have time to, rest and recover? Did he really have time to perfect his craft? You know what I mean? Did he really had the time to master his game plan? You know what I mean? Bozy Ennis is a phenomenal trainer, but you know what I mean? There's only so much a trainer could do when a fighter is, possibly overtrained. You feel what I'm saying? Really, really rooting for him, but O'Shaquie looked like he was in phenomenal shape. He made the weight at the end of the day. He did what he needed to do. It didn't look like he left any stones unturned. We won't really know until they perform. But I do think that, for O'Shaquie to win this fight, I think he's going to have to put on a great display of boxing. I think he needs to keep that jab on Stephen Fulton. I think he needs to, use his movement. I think he needs to have Stephen Fulton come look for him. You know what I'm saying? I think he just needs to put on a great display of boxing in terms of hitting and not getting hit, using your feet when appropriate, shooting combinations, getting up out of the way. You want to keep making Stephen Fulton reset. If you're Stephen Fulton, you want to come in behind that great jab that you have, of course. And if you're capable of closing that gap, I think you should make this an inside fight. Use O'Shaquie Foster's qualities against him. And there is times during the fight where O'Shaquie wants to bang. You know what I mean? You want to prove to him, he wants to prove to you that he a dog and that he could take one of your punches and, hit you back. He's a firm believer in his power. I think Stephen Fulton, I think the most successful that he could be during the fight is when he's fighting, Stephen Fulton when he's fighting O'Shaquie on the inside. And, similar to his approach with Brandon Figueroa where, he placing those sharp shots on the inside, creating angles, you know what I'm saying? And, doing damage with his combination punching in close range. I think that's what's going to help Stephen Fulton win this fight. But, most of all, he has a phenomenal jab as well, so that could play a part. It's going to be a great battle of the jabs overall between these two. But I'm rooting for, Stephen Fulton. I think Stephen Fulton is going to end up pulling this fight out by a split decision. I think he's going to win this fight by a split decision. There may be one – there might be some close rounds between the two. I think one of the judges might actually rule it in Foster's favor, but I do think that the other two presiding judges will, give the fight to Stephen Fulton, and Stephen Fulton will end up being the interim champion at 135 pounds, thanks to the WBC. You feel what I'm saying? Moving on, we have, Lamont Roach versus Isaac Cruz. Now, I told y'all, I'm rooting for Lamont Roach. I think he's going to win by unanimous decision. Like I said, though, just to reiterate my previous points, I do feel like, Isaac Cruz is going to be there. Obviously, he's going to be there. There's no other way. Like, we never known Isaac Cruz to be this outboxer. We never known him to be a defensive master. He got a tight high guard. He likes to march forward, doesn't really use his jab, but he constantly puts pressure. He walks you to the ropes or wherever you feel like planting your feet. He bombs away on you. He's not really there to really play with you and none of that. He getting to it right off of the rip. And he does have some good punching power. You know what I mean? He is tough. He does have, a solid chin on him despite being hurt in previous fights, in my opinion, like, Fierro and, of course, I've seen him get buzzed with Rayo Venezuela as well. But, Isaac Cruz is going to be coming to bring the fight to Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach is the one who has, the wider range of tools in terms of skill set. He does have, the more diverse toolbox. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm expecting Lamont Roach to put it on full display. I don't expect Lamont Roach to just be sitting in the pocket and catching and shooting throughout the entire course of the fight. I expect Lamont Roach to, showcase a great jab. You know what I mean? Whenever Isaac Cruz looks to pick up some momentum or establish some offense, you could take him for a walk around the ring. Because one thing about Isaac Cruz is not like he could, punch while moving his feet. He's one of those guys who has to plant his feet in order to be effective offensively. So as a result of that, I would like to see Lamont, use some movement here and there, but we know Lamont Roach a dog at the end of the day. He liked to rumble. You know what I mean? He has a tight, he's pretty responsible with his defense, but what's going to stand out, in my opinion, is his counter-punching ability. I think his timing is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure he's been working on it this entire camp. It's not like he struggled to make weight because, you know what I mean, this is his first time being at a, 140-pound weight limit. You know what I mean? Unlike, Stephen Fulton, I'm sure, Lamont Roach was responsible with his weight and did what he needed to do to make sure that he was in peak shape, peak condition. Lamont Roach looked to be in phenomenal shape. Looked like he put on a responsible amount of muscle. Didn't look too bulky or anything like that. He looked shredded. So he says that he's in phenomenal shape. We'll see during the fight. But I do think that there's going to be, instances where the fight starts to get heated up. Isaac Cruz throwing these big shots. Lamont might get caught with a shot or two, but then Lamont lets off a combination that, may disrupt, Isaac Cruz's offense. I see Lamont getting the better of a lot of these exchanges due to his great counter-punching ability. And I think that's really going to help him win those rounds. Now, there may be some politics that may take place in this fight. I hope that that's not true. But, we got to take into consideration because boxing can do this. We've seen this happen before. We've seen it happen with Lamont Roach's last fight on a PBC card with Gervonta Davis. I feel like there was politics that was involved in that. New York State Athletic Commission, they came out and said that should have been a 10-8 round, and he should have gotten disqualified for getting his eye wiped in the corner, but they decided not to overturn it because they don't know what Gervonta Davis would have done if Gervonta Davis, they don't know how he would have reacted if he was given the 8 count. Maybe he would have turned it up more. Maybe he didn't. It was a bullshit excuse, but nonetheless, politics fucked Lamont Roach over in that fight. Isaac Cruz is a moneymaker over at PBC as well because he has a country behind him. So Lamont Roach has to win these rounds convincingly. In my opinion, I think if any of these rounds are close, going up against a PBC fighter on a PBC, event, they may very well swing them rounds over to Isaac Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Because they probably looking to make him and Subriel Matias happen. That's a Mexico versus Puerto Rico fight, and that's if Subriel Matias is successful against Dalton Smith on January 10th, right? So let's not be surprised if some bullshit happens during a fight that we disagree with. Lamont Roach gets fucked over yet again, but I'm rooting for Lamont Roach. I think he's gonna land the cleaner, more effective shots. I think he's gonna get the better of a lot of these exchanges. I think he's gonna make Isaac Cruz pay for that aggressiveness. I think I see Lamont playing Matador in this motherfucking swimming without getting wet. Like I see his defense being tight. I see them short shots beating those wide shots and those 50-50 exchanges. Shit, might even buzz or even drop Isaac Cruz. You feel what I'm saying? But that's my whole take on the situation. A lot of people speaking about Francis Bartholomew and Frank Martin. I expect Frank Martin to do his thing. You know what I mean? He is coming off of a layoff and a knockout loss. So if Francis Bartholomew is going to catch Frank Martin slipping at any time is now. But you can tell Frank Martin is very excited for the opportunity. He's been waiting to be let out in terms of, being on the shelf for a long time. So, I'm expecting Frank Martin to get a good win and get himself, in the mix at 140 pounds. I seen him calling out Richardson Hitchens, which a lot of people are doing nowadays. And, he want that smoke, man. I feel like, if you're in Frank Martin's shoes, he feels like he has a lot to prove. Considering the fact that, a lot of people wrote him off after the Tank loss. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know Francis Bartholomew, pretty well. Like I said, I've seen him fight a few times. He's been around the block, very experienced at 140 pounds. And he may give Frank Martin some fits, but for the most part, I think Frank Martin's going to put on a great performance. You know what I mean? I don't know if he stopped Francis Bartholomew because he does know how to survive with that experience that he has. I thought that Gary Antoine Russell knockout was BS, to be honest with you. I think Francis Bartholomew is experienced in a way where, he could, get through those rounds. And that's what Frank Martin needs considering the long layoff that he's coming off of. So we'll see. I got Frank Martin winning by unanimous decision. What other fights is on here? Let me actually look at this. Let me actually look at this event. I do have Jesus Ramos, out. I got him outworking Shane Mosley Jr. You know what I'm saying? Erislandy Lara, I think he pushed Joe. I watched Johan Gonzalez mix a little bit. I seen him rumble a little bit. I think he pushed Johan on a fucking highlight reel. If he catches on one of them left hands, I think he's going to put that boy out. That's just my personal opinion. But, those are my predictions. I think Frank Martin beats Francis Bartholomew by decision. I got Erislandy Lara knocking out Johan Gonzalez early, too, probably within the first 4 rounds. You know what I mean? Probably 3. For some reason, 3 is really clicking off in my head right now. I got Jesus Ramos punching on Shane Mosley. You know, I got him all working him. Probably winning a unanimous decision. I never known Shane Mosley to be knocked out, but I do know him to lose against solid competition. So I do expect Jesus Ramos to defeat him by unanimous decision. Stephen Fulton, O'Shaquie Foster. I got Stephen Fulton pulling this fight out by split decision. You know what I mean? But if O'Shaquie wins, you know, I'm just very, very nervous for Stephen Fulton. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly how much he's going to be bringing into the ring, considering what looked to be a bad weight cut. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see how he feels in those championship rounds. But I do think Stephen Fulton will pull it off. But unfortunately, he won't be a 3-division world champion after the fight. Then I got Lamont Roach, you know, winning the fight against Cruz by unanimous decision. I think his clean, effective counterpunching will be the deciding factor in that fight. You see what I'm saying? Bellaface said Jonabek really messed up for real. Yeah, he definitely messed up. And the reason why he messed up was he was already being avoided as it was. You know what I mean? He wasn't able to get any big fights. But finally, you know, he was chasing that Carlos Adames fight. Adames, for some reason, didn't want that fight. Looking back, I guess it was a good, it was a good move for Adames not to face him. You know, he's a PED user. You know, Meldonia, no joke. But, Erislandy Lara, the oldest active champion in boxing today, you know, steps up to the plate and looks to, you know, he was attempting to give, you know, Jonabek an opportunity to get a 3rd belt in the division. You already got 2 of them. You was on your way to possibly collecting a 3rd one. Erislandy Lara ain't sweet, but that could have been a winnable fight for you. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't. You know, you decided to take, you know, to be negligent, which because whether you took it purposely or not, you know, you were very irresponsible, and you paid the price as a result of that. So, Sam, I'm actually about to get off of here. I'm about to wrap this up. I got to go to work tomorrow. But you know, you ain't want to have motherfuckers fight you, you know, pre-failed drug test. Now you definitely gonna have motherfuckers not want to fight you. Now that they know that you a PED user and you're not a big name, it ain't like you gonna entice these motherfuckers to fight you based off of the big payday. It's not like you a sweep. It ain't like the Mayweather sweepstakes where anybody will fight you because they getting career high money. You high risk, low reward as it is. Well, I mean, you could make a case that you're high reward because you're a unified champion, but you're low reward in terms of payday. You feel what I mean? So Jonabek really put himself in a fucked up situation, man. So, yeah, but I don't know. You do stupid things. You win. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes, right? I mean, you do stupid shit. Stupid shit gonna happen to you. Made your bed, you gotta lay in it. And I said the same shit for Subriel Matias. You know, they considering it contamination, but I seen the WBC doing something now where they're eliminating that contamination loophole. You know what I mean? Because now they're gonna be sending you a list of, you know, what's not okay to take and shit like that. So if you get caught on PEDs, you can't use that contamination approach because they already told you what you can and cannot use. So there's that. You know what I mean? Subriel keeping his title, defending his title. You know, they consider him not guilty, but they put him on a probation. I never known a motherfucker to serve probation after being found not guilty, but that's a WBC for you, man. So, yeah, he'll be fighting Dalton Smith. I wonder how Dalton Smith feels about this. How does Dalton Smith feel? Has he done any interviews? Speaking about Subriel's positive drug test, is he that might throw him off from a mental aspect. He may be very nervous. Like, oh, this motherfucker was using PEDs in the lead up to this fight. Am I going up against a cheater? Yeah, he had trace amounts, but it's probably because, you know, they caught him at the end of him benefiting from Osterine. Like, should I be worried? Should I be concerned? Like, is my safety in jeopardy? Like, is my health on the line for it? Like, my health already on the line as it is. And you know, Subriel got a real dangerous style. Now I got to deal with him on roids. I wonder how Dalton Smith feel about this, man. Very, very, weird situation. John Beck wanted to be on the Pass Taste Snack. Okay, Aaron. So everybody that is sponsored by by Snack is on PEDs. That's what you're saying? If you found not guilty, you are still labeled a cheater. Correct. I don't give a fuck what the WBC what they proclaim you to be. You on that shit. Whether you took it intentionally or not, you are on that shit. It was only trace amounts. Okay. Imagine you come home and you found out your girl cheated on you, right? But she say that the man only put a little bit of his dick in her. You're gonna be like, so he still fucked you, right? He had trace amounts of PEDs in his system, but he still had it in his system. It's the same shit. You only put the head in. Okay, well, he still penetrated you, bitch. The fuck is you talking about? Think about it. It's wild, but it's valid. If your girl has trace amounts of semen inside her, did she really fuck that man? Or did she? Or does it not count because she only had trace amounts? It'd be all cool until I bring up the girl analogies. Niggas start getting all uptight. Oh man, come on, man. Niggas start getting PTSD and shit. Relax, bro. There's plenty of women out here, bro, that won't cheat on you. There's some great women out here. It's okay. You know what I mean? You can fool them other motherfuckers. You can't fool me. Been in this shit too long. But anyways, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love as always. Shout out to everybody that, sent me their YouTube wrap-ups. You feel what I mean? I'm at number one. You know what I mean? I'm at number 3. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's been, consistently supporting the channel, man. It felt really great to receive that news. I'll be back at y'all tomorrow to give you guys my live fight commentary. If I don't do the live fight commentary, y'all, I think I'm going to fall back off of the live fight commentary just because a lot of people don't tune into them, Jones. I will certainly be available for the post-fight reaction. You see what I mean? So be on the lookout for that one. Got some great fights going on tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Jesus Ramos, Shane Mosley Jr., Frank Martin versus Francis Bartholomew. Looking forward to motherfucking Stephen Fulton versus, Shockey Foster, even though, Cool Boy got me a little nervous. Then, of course, we're going to lock in with the Lamont Roach and Eastside Cruz fight. Definitely going to be a lit card tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm going to go lay down with my son, y'all. I hope you guys have a great night. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.